what seems.
You're watching. You guys are watching. You're watching
Soulful Discussion.
So good morning. How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. And so, how did our paths just cross right now? How did we just meet?
I was working out, catching my breath.
Yeah, she's doing a little workout here.
And I was like, damn, I am tired. Very tired.
But you're grinding
and then
right now.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm just looking at the ocean, just deep in thought. Yeah, start your morning. Stillness.
Mm-hmm. And so I approached you, and what did I approach you about?
You asked me, which caught my attention, about, I was wondering what was reflexology.
Reflexology, absolutely.
And how my day is, and I apologize, I forgot the rest. That just stood out
to
me.
All good. So it's about your thoughts on your feet, mental health, reflexology, right?
Yes.
All right, and so in terms of mental health, are there any topics you kind of research and follow closely, like you kind of have a handle on?
With mental health, like this, for example, is an example of what helps me with my own mental health, like just working out to start my day. Nice. It's therapeutic, and I'm more curious of like just around this area, like this whole district, like with Pedro, Wilmington, Watts, the homeless issue. Like mental health is such a huge issue, like how many people are in the streets and are out of it, how much help they need, and people don't realize. So that's what catches my attention. And I see so many things going on with the community, like how they're trying to help, like with the tiny homes, but is that really helping? Are people actually reaching out, or like for younger kids?
Exactly. That's a good point. I like that.
That's what I do know, and what I'm more curious of wanting to know what can help.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to be talking about in terms of the mental health today, it deals with like anxiety and depression, and like how do you cope with that, like ways to like kind of deal with that. So it might be some interesting information.
It's always in my mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then so reflexology, you said you're not familiar with.
That
have you
term.
ever heard of it before?
I think I have,
okay.
But it just sounds, I don't know, it sounds like something like an exercise thing. I have no idea.
So we'll go into it, we'll dive deep into it. We're going to kind of go along in the line. You'll see how the interview is going, okay? So let's start with the first question. First question, what's something you like that other people might find to be weird? And I'm using that term weird for a reason. It doesn't have to be something weird, but it could just be like a strange hobby you might have and other people look at it as being odd or whatever.
Yeah. We'll take a moment. I normally like ask my friends. I keep saying the same thing. I'm like, do you guys want to go running? Do you guys want to? I don't know, because I don't know what to do. Like that's just my lifestyle. I don't want to go out and drink and waste money. And get tired. And then my friend's like, I don't want to go running, or so. I guess that's one example.
Absolutely.
Like, okay. Well, you're more than welcome to anyway. Yeah. And then, I don't mind being active, but let's see, what's weird. I stay in my own little bubble, so I like to draw and paint. So if anyone's invited to come, but everyone has their own life, so everyone's different.
I see.
Weird in their
so
own way.
It's like your artistic space where you can just kind of be and delve in, right?
Yeah, I was like, I'll just stay inside. I'll just draw. I'll be fine. Or some random things. Just how when you have random thoughts, like that correlates. Like, oh, this reminds me of a movie. This reminds me of a sketch. But you try to match this movie. Yeah,
absolutely.
So I have no idea. I'm gonna think later too. Like,
it's all good. If you come up with it later on, then we'll dive into that.
Okay.
Has anyone ever made you feel insecure about your body or a certain body part?
Absolutely. My ex, people in middle school and high school. Okay. Yeah.
Is that something you still
deal with? Even my mom, but I think that was when I was little.
Okay. Yeah. Is that something you still deal with now, or do you kind of like already have a control over it?
I think just with every other month I deactivate Instagram. But just like social media is not healthy. Yeah. People treat it the wrong way, and like they misinterpret. Yeah, misinterpret the way images are when everyone's getting surgery. I don't know how they're reporting surgery or what's still going on, or like filters, and it's just so disappointing, and how like an image should be shown, and then they're showing this to young girls and young guys. And it's
so true. So how did you get to the point where, because you did mention one thing already, like you kind of deactivate your Instagram like every month. What are some other steps you took to kind of like overcome like dealing with those types of things?
You just have to, it can be unhealthy if you don't know how to like stay in your little bubble, stay in your own space. But you have to work out, get your own endorphins, and just look out into the ocean and like remind yourself who you are spiritually or like mentally, and you have to be like, like for example, I'm Selena. Like I like me. I don't. It's fine. Everything works out. You have to be reminded constantly. Like this is a different generation compared to the 80s, 90s.
Absolutely.
We're all in a different path, and
so it's basically like
people need
grounded,
to be reminded. Yes.
Right? Grounded.
Thank you.
That's amazing. All right. If there was one thing you could change about yourself, somebody came
But it's
along.
a constant reminder. You have to remind ourselves.
Yeah. If there was one thing you could change about yourself, somebody gave you the power to change whatever you want, like what would you change? And it doesn't have to be physical, but just like whatever you want. Like what would you change about yourself?
I was thinking, I was listening to this Mac Miller song, and I forgot which song. It was like from the Swimming album.
Okay.
And he was just saying, I send my regrets the same as texts.
Oh, okay.
I have but I was like, I wish that I can change my like overreacting, overthinking.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And like sending out a text without even thinking about it.
Yeah. It's like once you push that
emotionally,
button,
control my emotions more.
Yeah. Once you push that button, it's over. It's already out there.
Long apology.
Yeah.
Sorry. Overreacted. I should have just ran.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, so let's get into these questions. How do you feel about your feet? What are your thoughts?
My feet.
Mm-hmm.
I have my father's feet, so I need to always. I started getting pedicures. Is that what you mean?
Well, no, just in general, like how you feel. Do you like them? You don't like them? You don't really think about them?
I never really cared to think about them, and then it was till this guy I was dating. It'll be funny, it'll be personal. Or like I hear some people like, I have a feet fetish. I'm like, well, I don't really take care of my feet, but I should. And then I noticed to remind myself, like I'm a girl. Like I should be in tune with my feminine side, and I should take care of my feet. And then because sometimes, especially in the winter, they get kind of ashy, crusty.
But you also you do a lot of running and stuff like that. So
so I have to take. You know what? I started taking better care of it, like just even dipping or in an Epsom salt or icing it because.
Get the inflammation down and things.
I broke my metatarsal, like this part of the foot, the top part of the foot before, and I'm just taking better care, especially as you get older.
Yeah, it's really important. We'll dive more into that as we go along. Have you ever received any compliments about your feet before? Anybody ever said?
I have random. I didn't see it coming.
Okay, man or women?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of a compliment from a man about that, how does it make you feel in terms of that?
I was just shocked because it's just feet. So
your initial reaction is a shock.
Nice, because I don't take care of them. I do now, but I'm always running.
You've gotten better with it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess as I get older.
Yeah, absolutely. What were your thoughts? Because I think you said you dated someone before who was like into feet. Was that where you were going? What was that experience like?
Still now.
Oh, still now? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was just like, I should keep on it with my feet because there's times where I'm just busy in the day, and then like a lifestyle nowadays, it's like you get off of work and you see the person, or you're running.
Yeah, you don't really have the time to.
I was like, let me go wash my feet.
Yeah. So is the experience good though? Is it bad? Like.
I just make sure like after I run, I have mud, so I rinse my feet really quick.
Okay.
Just like that. Or I went to go get a massage I rarely do, but and they were like looking at my feet, and I was like, shit, I just ran. I was like, my bad.
But you know what? I don't think that they really, I don't think they're as judgmental as you may think that they are in terms of that. If you just start dating someone, I know you're dating someone now, but if you, let's say you're not dating anybody and you started dating someone again, when do you think is the appropriate time for you two to talk about like things you're into? Like I like this.
Oh, right away. Absolutely.
Right away? Okay.
Yes. When you get into, when you're involved in like making good interaction, like conversation with the person. I mumble, sorry.
No, it's good.
Thank you. When you're in a good conversation, you talk about anything. You're comfortable. It's just that instant moment when you have a connection. Yeah.
And so now let me ask you this: is it different? Like, is every situation different? Because like you may meet somebody and maybe the chemistry is not there right away.
It's their chemistry.
Yeah. So is it different in each situation?
It could be different, and if you're lucky, like the chemistry's great. You're both goofy. You both talk about anything, and it's okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Me and my girlfriend are super goofy.
Yeah.
How often do you get pedicures?
I was actually thinking of getting one soon, but like 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks?
Like 3-4 weeks. Someone never getting pedicures. It's such a waste of money.
You should get the gel ones if you do go. Like if you want to wait for 3 weeks because they last longer.
Oh, thank you.
My girlfriend, she gets those. So the gel ones like usually last about 3 sometimes
Yeah.
4 weeks. So yeah, I would
Thank
get
you.
those if I was you. Yeah.
I would go more for like just the dead skin. Like they get dry, my
Yeah.
feet, especially because
That was my next question. So have you
Yeah.
ever heard of medical pedicures before?
no.
So that's exactly what you're talking about. So medical pedicures deal with, you go see like a podiatrist specialist that deals with feet, and they take a look at your feet, they look at your nails to make sure your nails are growing correctly, your toes are aligned correctly, dead skin, make sure you don't have any of that, and they do all the work there. So it's way different from like getting the cosmetic ones. This is just more like medical grade material that they use, and they just do all the work there. What would your thoughts be on something like that? Do you think that's more helpful than a cosmetic one?
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to go check it out. Like, how's my feet?
Yeah. Because they'll tell you, and they say like exactly what you were talking about.
I'd love
when
to know
you broke
more.
like your toe.
Yeah.
So they say like a lot of people end up coming to them like later in life when it's too late. Like you've already got all these problems. It's almost like if you have a car and you don't put oil in it, and as you go along, like the car gets worse. Same thing, like taking care of your body. So and your feet's a part of it. It grounds you, right? Keeps you grounded to the earth and allows you to do so many things. So very important to like look into.
Yeah,
that.
I would love to.
They say you should go about every 3 months just to keep the maintenance up.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So how often do you wear like open toe shoes, sandals, flip flops, things like that?
I wear them
You live
both.
more of an active lifestyle, so I'm kind of interested to see like what that is.
Yeah, which is funny. Like the last question, I was like, I was just thinking about my feet last night. I was like, damn it! Every other now and then, even though when you break the
Yeah.
metatarsal, you still feel it. It's never the same.
Really?
So I was like, even right now, even like touching my toes on the ground, I
Yeah.
can feel that strain. But
Wow.
I'm still gonna run. I need new shoes.
Yeah.
For comfort. I'm always either running shoes or I have slides.
Okay.
It's not Birkenstocks, like a bootleg version of
Yeah.
Birkenstocks.
I know what you're talking
But
about.
those are like my go-tos.
Okay.
Heels, rarely.
Mhm.
Don't go out. So
Yeah, I feel you.
when I do,
Okay.
those heels are going on. But
I swear. How often do you go barefoot?
all the time. That's
Alright.
why my feet are probably dry. All the time. I love
Have you
being
ever heard of
barefoot.
grounding and earthing? Do you?
Something like that. Like you
Okay.
want to be more in tune with the earth.
Yeah. And it's part of reflexology. So actually getting that energy
okay.
back from the earth and it runs through your body. That's all part of reflexology. Yeah, absolutely. So now, can we see what your feet look like up close?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And let me get you, leave
Funny.
the socks on and just put your feet up here.
Is it both feet? One,
Yeah,
two?
both feet. And just put them up here. And what size
I was
do
trying to
you
get
wear?
any pictures.
It's all good. Don't worry about that.
9.
Size 9. Okay.
Yes.
And you're kind of like 5'7", 5'8".
5'8" and a
5'8".
half.
So it kind of goes right with that. And so put your
Oh,
feet
thank
right
you.
up here.
Excuse me, socks.
All right. Size 9. All right. Cool. And extend your legs out all the way and toes up. There we go. All right. So how are you feeling about this experience so far? We're going through this. We're talking. Questions.
Thank you for
showing
the
your feet.
questions and being so
Absolutely.
helpful and
Absolutely.
guiding me. And yeah,
Yeah, no worries. But how are you feeling so far? Is it a comforting experience? Does
it's
it feel
comforting.
good?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And I'll get you to take your socks off now.
Okay. Into
Alright.
my these
And put them
furries.
flat down first so
Okay.
we can take a look at it.
Gotcha.
You got great toe alignment. And we can see that it is a runner's, like you're a runner, but like they look nice and they're natural.
Thank
Not
you.
Bad. Not bad.
My
Extend
ex
your
is
legs
an
out.
asshole.
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice. And extend your legs out. All right, and toes up again.
Like this?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And so let's go into the mental health because I want to talk and leave your feet up. We're going to go through a couple more exercises. I'll talk to you about the mental health that got me involved in this, like why I started doing my channel. So I was watching a guy's channel during quarantine and he was talking about DBT. Are you familiar with the term?
Mm-mm.
So it's basically dialectical behavioral therapy, right? And it's for people who suffer from like anxiety and depression, people who like tend to like not live in the moment, like they overthink situations they're presented with. So let's say, for example, you had a fear of approaching strangers, right? What therapists would prescribe for you is to go out and put yourself in that situation, right? Just go up and approach strangers over and over again. It's exposure therapy, right? It's to get you used to the uncomfortable feelings that come along with it, so that you can see like there's nothing really wrong, right? So that when you're in the moment and you feel uncomfortable, cope with it, do a self-assessment and ask yourself, what's the worst that's going to happen to me in this situation, right? And you'll usually find that like the things you're thinking about are not like realistic, and so what you're supposed to do past that is anticipate a good outcome, follow through with it, and no matter what happens from it, you basically are able to like move past that point. What are your thoughts about DBT and like what I've talked about so far.
Everyone needs that, because that's
Yeah.
how you're going to learn compassion and empathy towards others and getting to know. People judge right away, even if they're from different backgrounds, different areas, and that is so important.
Absolutely.
I love that how people are making more terms, and you're teaching me too. So
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what this is all about for me, like going
this
out,
is
like
wonderful.
teaching.
They
And
should
like,
teach this in middle school, elementary, being aware.
And so even going through the
insecurity
steps,
starts from that. So
even going through steps, if you can see like I'm asking questions, and then we get to this step to see like, are you still comfortable?
You
Can
understand
you go through
people that way.
Yeah, exactly. So now let's talk about reflexology, because I know that you were like, I don't know what that is, so let's talk about it, okay? So reflexology deals with the different pressure points you have in your hands and in your feet. Like you have all these different pressure points and nerve endings that actually lead to other parts of your body. So like through massage, acupuncture, acupressure, you can actually alleviate stress and tension throughout your body. So like if you're dealing with, I don't know if you ever dealt with migraines or anything like that, but if you ever did, there's actually a portion of your foot you can massage that can like alleviate that tension that you're feeling.
That's so crazy. I was thinking of that like a couple of days ago, because I was like, do I have carpal tunnel?
Yeah.
Do I have tendonitis? What's going on? Because first last week, or like earlier this week, I had like a huge knot I kept trying to roll out with a baseball against the wall, and then it was this side, but then somehow I felt like I had like a tendonitis strain or carpal tunnel, so then I could feel it right here, like when I press it.
Yeah, you had a lot of tension. You have a lot of tension built up, and that's what it is. So like you can actually massage.
Like you couldn't squeeze your hands.
Yeah, you can massage different areas of your hands and your feet that can like alleviate that tension that you're feeling.
And that's like with acupuncture, right?
Well, like it's just a certain amount of pressure that you apply, and because you apply that pressure, it'll alleviate that tension, and you have to just make sure you're in the right pressure point. They actually call the area zone. So if you were to pull it up on your phone or computer, it'll like give you a whole like pretty much blueprint of like how everything aligns to like your different parts in your body.
Okay.
Would that be something you would try?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, since we've reached this portion of the interview, I'd like to know how ticklish you are.
Probably when like I was younger, I was ticklish, but yeah, still.
Okay. Would you mind if we tested it on camera to see?
Okay.
Okay. All right, now let me
This
get
is
you
probably how weird. Like
point your toes up like this again. All right, and I'm gonna start with the right, and you tell me exactly where it's most sensitive at.
Oh
right?
my gosh, when you get a pedicure, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It is.
But I'm gonna give you a trick for that. I'm gonna show you a trick. Okay. So let's start with the right. All right. So 1, 2, 3, and where is it more at? Right in the middle?
Right there. Right in the middle. Right in the middle.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, you touched
One
my
more
feet.
time. One more time. It's all good.
Sanitizer.
It's all good. Yeah, I got hand sanitizer. All right.
The middle.
Not so much at the top.
Yeah, the top right there.
The top too?
Yeah,
okay.
the top. Yeah.
Now let's try the left.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3, and
yeah.
Is this one worse? Or is it? Which one was worse?
Both. I feel like
both were worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, sorry.
I'm gonna have you try a trick. Okay. Put your feet back out, toes up. All right. I want you to wiggle your toes here. Wiggle. Do this. Like make movements. All right. And is it more or less?
Oh, crazy.
Less, right?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
So because your foot's in motion, like it can't pick up on the different tensions that it's like feeling.
Interesting.
So like if you go get a pedicure, if you're like you deal with that a lot, just kind of wiggle your toes a bit. It'll alleviate some of that you're feeling. Let's try the left. Do the same thing. All right. And less.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now let me get you to do a couple exercises to test like if you have any like ligament or bone damage. Okay. So with your feet like that, bend your toes over, make a fist. Tell me if you feel any pain or
Both
discomfort.
toes?
Yeah. Just bend. Do you feel any pain or discomfort from that?
Not really.
Okay. All right, relax. Now, spread your toes. Tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort. Is it easy to do or is it hard to do?
Sorry, I have like weird toes.
Oh, it's all good. Don't worry.
It's okay. I think it's just when I like on my right side.
Okay.
Like
Is that where you had your surgery at?
Not surgery, but it broke and I had a cast.
So is that where you had it at?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That
like
might
I feel
be
like
why.
even right now, like when I'm doing this, when I bend them back.
Okay. That might be a little bit why. All right, and then just wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds. Tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort. Is it hard to do? Easy to do?
It's
pretty easy.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, she was good though, but she went and got checked out because she said she actually stumped her toe like the week before, and so we were doing that, and she was able to find out about it. So pretty cool. So let's wrap up the interview now. In terms of my approach, when I walked over, I asked you to do the interview. Was it good? Was it bad? What did you think about it?
You're very kind, and then you're informative, and yeah. So it was good. It's good. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Then I was very
that.
curious, and then you brought a great subject. Yes. Great start of the day.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Yeah,
in terms of the interview from start to finish, right? Because you see how everything was going in a line. Did it make sense to you, and did you learn anything new?
Yes, it made sense.
Okay.
I learned with the toes. Got to wiggle my toes. Good to know, so I don't kick a lady.
Yeah.
yeah, and then also just things. It was good conversation that you brought up with mental health because it's so important to bring that. And then I love the question you brought up if it's important. Sorry, the helicopter.
I talk it.
If just talking about this to younger.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get like messages across because a lot of people don't know.
Talk to strangers. So important to talk to strangers.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know in terms of reflexology that it's a benefit.
Unless
in terms
they're creepy with the kid, but yeah.
It's a benefit in terms of like a holistic approach, like when you're feeling like different pains in your body, to like be able to do something that's not related to having to take like pills or things like that. So I'm going out and giving that information to people that could be helpful.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. So last thing I'll have you do, from a mental health standpoint, right? Maybe a life lesson you learned, some wise words of wisdom somebody said to you that you could say to my channel that could be helpful to them.
Let me see. I feel like I'm going to be so mad at myself because I'm going to think of it later.
Don't worry about it. But this is all about like how you're feeling in the moment. So it may be whatever it is that you're going to say may be the right thing that needs to be said at that particular time. Don't overthink it like it has to be perfect. Just whatever you're feeling.
Yeah, whatever. From what I'm feeling, just gazing out, just trust the process. As cliche as that sounds, like we all have our own game plan. Write it down in a journal. Go for that healthy mental health run. Trust your game plan. Write it down so you know that along the ways you're crossing that off your check mark and you're seeing progression come throughout your life and what your goal is.
Sweet.
And I keep mentioning Mac Miller. He was on my playlist.
Yeah,
like, just keep swimming. But
maybe a lot of people end up learning about him.
You just got to keep going. Yeah.
That's sweet, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to do the interview with us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And you have a great one, okay?
Thank you.